Welcome to the Believe in Your Office podcast, sponsored by Boomerang and Common Sense Office Furniture, the podcast where we explore what makes workplaces work. Every episode features candid conversations with leaders, business professionals, and workplace experts who've been in the trenches. They share the real stories, the wins, the failures, and the lessons learned about culture, teamwork, and leadership that actually matter. Let's get into it. Brian, welcome to the Believe in Your Office podcast. How are you doing today?
Doing very well. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Super excited to have you. If you could just introduce yourself to the world.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Brian Mulligan. I work for Common Sense Office Furniture for, my goodness, I believe in a little less than a month from now, it'll be for 15 years, which is pretty awesome. I'm in sales and do business development.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. 15 years is quite an amazing feat. What kept you around for 15 years? 14 and some change years.
Oh, yeah. I guess we'll keep being honest. We'll call it 15 once I achieve 15 years. But that's a good question. This is uh, uh, well, this was a big change of pace, kind of a breath of fresh air of an atmosphere of working here with the team that I have here in this company from where I came from, which was in a accounting department of a large law firm. Um, it's much more comfortable. We are a pretty small company, so it's more intimate. I did not pursue a job in sales, just kind of whatever natural progressions, just found myself in this position, took to it more than I thought I enjoyed it. The challenges, the successes, and the failures are all, in hindsight, I can say more educational things that I can appreciate more than I would have guessed I would
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about your background. You said that you were a part of an accounting firm. Um, were you a certified like CPA? Were you CPA or were you doing something else within that position?
as something else would be the short answer. I was, I was not a CPA. I was, the most honest way I like to describe it is I was a monkey with a calculator. Pretty good with my calculator. But, it's
So how do you translate from being a monkey behind a calculator to in a sales position?
well, that's my calculator. I guess metaphorically speaking, where you're crunching numbers and looking at numbers all day long. Um, that is not something that you can not be immune to or oblivious to in a sales position. What I enjoy about this type of position is more than just numbers, but we're driving revenue and we're looking at costs. Um, that is the nature of it. That's at the end of the day, this is a sales business. We achieve those sales through whatever methods and relationships we can kind of cultivate through time. But we're looking at revenue and costs.
Yeah. So let's go through the sales process a little bit. Um, you know, being 15 years of sales, you're doing something right. Whether you want to believe it or not, you're doing something right. So take me
Oh,
through a little.
Jonathan, keep telling me that. If you can call
Yeah.
me once a week and tell me that, that'd be great.
I feel like all salespeople need a little bit of an emotional boost because we just get beat to hell every single day, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either a no or a hell no or a GTFO. It's still an O and an N and somewhere in between.
And some, yeah, let's maybe some others.
Yeah, exactly right. I've been called a lot of things actually. That's another story for another day, and I'm sure you have too. But like, let's go through the process a little bit of like the romance behind sales. Like, what is a typical sales process? What is your typical sales process from ideation from lead generation all the way to commitment and contract signing?
Oh, that's a very good question. Um, to summarize, which I'll do my best to, it's probably not doing justice to all things that go into all opportunities. Um, but from ideation to lead generation, it all starts with being available, right? Being present, whether it's in an office, which that is where I do most of my work, where I do my most quality work. I've tried working from home. I can't do it. I need to be in a work atmosphere. Maybe it's just my naturally compartmentalized brain, but when I'm doing work, I need to be in a work environment. So um, I tell myself that regularly. It all starts with being present and available. Can't meet that new person or take that new phone call or provide that quality answer if it was not available. Um, so that's that. I think the ideation and the lead generation is closely related. Um, our leads that we generate, the best quality ones, the most meaningful and impactful ones are often referrals that we'll receive from our network including our customer base and clients, our friendships and business development efforts that we do with other industry professionals, be it the brokers, the architects, the designers, the engineers. Those are all people that we try to do right by, so that we're the first people they think of when they have a client to benefit from what we offer.
So how do we do it, right? Because it's important to, like, there comes a times there comes a time within sales that you could potentially come off as begging. And obviously there's also the way of delivering the service, right? So, let's go through, I guess, when you meet a partner, right? And maybe it's like a new partner. We'll kind of go down two branches, the partner, like the new partner and the old partner. Take me through the process of, okay, so you met somebody at a networking event. How do you cultivate that relationship?
The most common way that I'll try to stay in touch and keep engaged with that person is whether it's email address or phone number. A text or an email is always a nice little touch, little afterthought. Hey, great meeting you. Hoping we can connect on whatever day and time. Maybe we'll grab some coffee. Um, phone calls and texts, anything to keep it a little bit more personal. That's what we try to do. That's what I like to try to do. And emails, of course, they're necessary, but it's very very cold and very easy to dismiss. I am quick to dismiss something that doesn't grab me in an email. Um, so any type of way we can stay actively engaged instead of just a phone call. Hey, let's catch up and let's just talk sometime. Here in Central Florida, we like to play our golf. We can go catch up at a driving range or play a quick nine. Anything to kind of break from the daily grind and enjoy some fresh air and just some one-on-one meaningful full contact. That's not we can't just play golf every single day, unfortunately. But the few and far between times, those sort of, something that's more than just 30 or 45 minutes and it's just you and one or two or three other people, it's a little more impactful, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So how will you know whether or not to go a little bit more aggressive on one particular partner or contact or lead versus someone that might be a little bit more passive?
That is a very good question. So I think maybe the quick answer is maybe just a gut instinct. If you have an idea as to just the profession that person is in, and how that can be related to the profession that we're in, or maybe just the people that we hope that they know, um, to kind of instill a level of interest. What might motivate, how ambitious we approach someone and pursue a lead or an opportunity. But it also has to come from a sense of value that that I think I can offer someone. To kind of to go back to, I think, what you were touching on. You don't want to come off as too big. Say, hey, anything you can work, I can work on for you. I mean, what can I do for you? Is there something send my way? There has to be some sort of give and take. There are some industry professionals that we try to network and partner with that I can't exactly call a real estate director and say, hey, I have some clients who they need some new space. Naturally, I'm not the person to provide that sort of leader or referral to someone in that profession. But the value that I can offer is just taking care of their clients, should that introduction be gifted to me.
Yeah. So let's go through, like, you have somebody that you think is like a really good fit for potential candidate for lead, right? How often are you communicating with them, and where do you actually see it kind of tick into a little bit more than just a friendship or of some kind?
I think that might vary on a case by case standard. If it's nothing that I would ever expect. Obviously not overnight. You know, hitting that click or that stride with a person or group of people within a week or a month. It's not something that I would expect, but it is that just kind of gradual, staying involved, staying in touch. Um, and having a sense of vigilance to it, but from a position of I want to say friendliness, but that's not I don't think that's the right word. A casual but professional. Hey, I'm here when you need me, sort of thing.
Yeah. So I think that's a good intro to like the newness, but now it's like the cultivating, and now it's the older relationships, right? I feel like we're segueing directly perfectly into the next iteration. So now we're talking about the existing partners, right? Cultivating relationships. You mentioned golf. You mentioned, maybe taking them out to dinner. How, for people who may be a little lost in sales, right? What does a typical week look like when it comes to connecting with your existing relationships? How often are you doing it? I know you're sending text messages and calls and things like that. On a given week, how many people are you potentially talking to?
Oh, potentially on a given week, it could be as little as five, or it could be as much as 20.
Hmm.
Very much varying, week by week. Um, sorry, very much that it could be that big of a swing in the pendulum, from minimum to maximum. Um, that's yeah, as much indicative as what my personal professional schedule looks like, as well as the people that we're connected.
Yeah. And if you were to, like, what would you say is to move the needle a little bit, right? Like, do you feel like it's imperative for somebody to take them out to dinner? Is it imperative to take them out to a round of golf? Is it imperative to just like send them something? Whether it be like a really cool article or even just like a video of some kind.
Okay. I think it's imperative to do something, and I think what you're doing, what you do might be influenced by who you're doing it for, who you're trying to connect with, who you're trying to foster a relationship with. But specifically, what you do, I think, also depends on you or me specifically, because there there's always what needs to be presence of authenticity. Um, I know that starting off in this profession, I was not very quick to mention what I do with a sense of pride. I say that I'm in sales, and I would probably be a little coy about it, because um, there might be this cliche about what it means to be in sales, um, which is false, which I now know and learned after some years, that you be true to yourself, and be true to the people that you're working with. And that's where the really impactful business is developed. So what you're doing, I would not say to someone just starting off in a sales position that, hey, you need to learn how to golf, or, you need to lose at golf humbly, but you need to go golfing. I would not say that. You don't have to go take someone out to dinner. You don't have to take someone out to lunch. You don't have to go to happy hours. You just need to do something. You need to show yourself and demonstrate your availability. Um, is the most important thing.
How many touch points do you think it takes in order to kind of move that along, right? Like, because I think availability is important, right? I couldn't agree more with you, but sometimes there's the opposite end of the sword, more or less, where it could potentially harm you for being too available. Um, where do you find the balance in that?
Oh, it's a really good question, Jonathan. Um, I don't think I've found a strategic balance that I would look for a certain quantity of touch points before I expect uh, positive results that will have long-lasting implications, long-lasting impacts. Um, I would be, I think if after 3 to 5 engagements, touch points, whatever you want to call it, if that turned into something meaningful, I think that that would be a um, really beneficial surprise. I think if after 15 to 20 touch points, I wouldn't necessarily say you need to give up on that opportunity, but you definitely need to reevaluate how you're doing it or what you're doing.
How do you stay organized about it then?
Oh, that's something that I'm forever working on. I'll tell you a lengthy list of things that I'm good at and things that I'm proud at about myself. But on the list of things that I continue need to be better about is organizing those sorts of resources in what I've done and what I need to do. I do retain and I'm able to contemplate in greater detail when I physically write something down. Pen and paper. That's just something. I don't know if it's the tactile motions and efforts involved. Physically writing it on a piece of paper, what I would like to do or what I have done has more of an impact on me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that mean, are you, do you use like CRMs? Do you use notes? Are you more like pen and paper or, reminder type of person?
So we, with this new partnership with Boomerang Office Furniture and Common Sense Office Furniture, we have integrated into a new platform, uh, which is more than just capable to understate it, but within it is a CRM, which I'm immersing myself into to kind of give that an honest effort in addition to writing things down. Having not using the technology available to you is foolish, to say the least. So that's actually what one of my goals this year is to get more immersed and involved.
Yeah, for sure. No, absolutely. That's really good to hear. And I'm always curious about like what drives you and what motivates you, right? I'm sure there's something that's a little bit higher than just the money and the sales and the communication and the relationships. What is the thing that drives you the most?
The one answer, if I were to strip it down to one answer, is I'm a father of two little girls. This is going to be 25. March. The youngest is going to be 3 on Valentine's Day. So being able to provide for them, that's number one, hands down. The things that you were asking about, the other than this, other than that, the relationships and the revenue is the income has the potential to be very exciting. All of that is on the list.
That's
I
awesome.
enjoy, yeah, I very much enjoy the connections, the relationships. I hate getting my teeth kicked in with a hard no, losing a contract, but there's an honest sense of accomplishment and satisfaction when you get that big win.
How do you balance the fatherhood versus the sales? Like, how do you balance the being present versus being, present at work and present at home?
With a lot of anxiety, it, it's not easy for me. It's definitely worth the effort with parenthood of young children. There's always, there has been, and I expect there will continue to be things that you need to miss a day or two if your kid is sick. There's doctor's appointments, or if there's a function at their school. Those are choices that it's important to make, but it is a choice to make because you're when you're being present for one thing, you are making the choice to not be present for another thing. So I show up every day with my best game face on that I can muster to do my job, but it is for them. So when they need me, that they get me. Um, so that's the balance. Um, I don't know how concise or clear of an answer it is, but
It's the
um,
answer, and that's all that matters.
yeah, I think so.
Why do you believe in your office? Or why do you believe in offices?
Well, I speaking solely for myself. Um, I I work better in a work atmosphere. My home is my home atmosphere. That's where my kids are. That's where my dogs are. That's where my wife is. That's where we unwind and enjoy each other's company and do whatever we do. But work is where we work. Office is where we work. Um, there's truth in the comments about the relationships you can cultivate, the friendships, the dynamics that are prevalent in a work atmosphere, in an office atmosphere that you won't find anywhere else, that I don't find anywhere else. But it's a different dynamic. Um, I don't. I think it's dangerous and difficult and inefficient to share your mental and spiritual and emotional bandwidth with a place that you live or just hang out in a place where you actually need to do your job.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Brian, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, Jonathan, thank you.
Your office isn't just where work happens, it's where culture is built, ideas are born, and teams come together. And if your workspace doesn't support the people in it, everything else becomes harder. That's where Boomerang and Common Sense Office Furniture comes in, supporting communities in Orlando, Florida, the tri-state area, and everywhere in between. Boomerang and Common Sense both specialize in high-quality office, hospitality, healthcare, and educational furniture that doesn't just look good, it performs. Whether you're furnishing a growing team, redesigning for hybrid work, or just need furniture that actually works for how people collaborate, Boomerang and Common Sense make it easy and affordable. Visit boomerangofficefurniture.com to see how the right furniture can transform the way your team works.